Hello, my name is Christina, and this is my weekly review of one of my favorite artists. And this one today is especially dear to me. I've been following her work for many, many years. I discovered her, I think, in 2012, I think, yeah. And it's been amazing to see how she grows and evolves as an artist, and conquering more and more new projects and new clients and new assignments, getting bigger and bigger, shooting for all kinds of top fashion magazines and fashion brands, doing campaigns for them. It's really amazing that you see a talent in someone, and you see how they are, how that talent finds their way and getting appreciated with more and more brands and people in the industry. So her name is Fanny Latour-Lambert. She's French. She was born in south of France and grew up in Paris. And she started doing photography really quite early. She tells that she got her first camera, I think, for her birthday when she was only 15. And then she started photographing obsessively. Every week she would go out and shoot. So by the time she was 17 and she was graduating from high school, she already had an extensive portfolio and started testing with models and got in with modeling agencies, and that's how her career in fashion began. But what I find really interesting is that despite she was so young, she was able to find, inspiration in very serious photographers. So the three photographers that she names as her main influences were Cristina Garcia Rodero, Joseph Kudelka, and Diane Arbus. I think all of them are quite social and political, and they're street photographers, and it is really unusual, I think, or not very typical, to be inspired by be a fashion photographer and be inspired by street photographers. And that's what I think helped her find her unique voice and really stand out from the crowd. And let me show some of her work, and you will see what I mean about her unique voice and what really attracted me to her as well. So that is, I think, one of the first projects I saw, or one of earlier projects that I really still really love. It's called Father Stranger Lover. So let me go through some of the images. So I really like the raw quality of these images and this amazing extraordinary facial expressions, and just the face and the body language, and the use of props. The character is a little awkward, but at the same time he's quite confident, and he's not afraid of looking funny or weird, or yeah, he's very strong and confident in these pictures. I love the compositions. I love her use of framing. It's very free. Like, there's a lot of sense of freedom in her images. They don't seem staged. They just look like slices of moments in life, and they're definitely humorous a lot of times. And it's something that that you see and you immediately get attracted to, because it's so emotional and so believable thanks to that. And so when she talks about her work, she says that she's always been attracted to strange or different looking faces, and she loves, looking for faces and seeing different characters and imagining them as being maybe characters in the movie, what kind of story she would tell about them. And this is something that I also find, in my own approach, maybe not to that extent, because she's really, I think, focused on her casting when she casts people for her shoots. No matter if it's a fashion shoot or a personal project, you will see how careful she is with her choice of faces. So let me show overview of her work on her agency that represents her website. So these are most recent fashion projects that she did, and then we will see some, mix of earlier work and portraiture. So what I think what she really is a portrait photographer and storyteller that shoots fashion, and that makes her different. And I think we as a viewer don't necessarily want to be presented just with the clothes or with the brand too much in our face, like, right? So we would like to see a story. We don't necessarily just want to see beautiful someone demonstrating amazing clothes. We like to see their story. We like to engage with the character, with their emotion, and then after that we will maybe look at what they are wearing, because we just got inspired by that character or by the situation on where they were and what they were doing. So I think I like that approach so much better than the fashion that's so much in your face and trying to sell you something. So just look at these characters and faces and moments, and see what I mean. And she also is really good at photographing groups of people, and obviously always photographing on location, interacting with other, not only other people, but also props and sets. And I think it's also a good skill to have when you can arrange elements in your frame without it looking too messy or overloaded with details, and still keeping the focus on the main character, and and still keeping the emotion natural and real. And it's so fun to see and watch what she does, and study her characters, study her her directing skills. She's basically a director. And she says about herself too that she always wants to do film and tell stories that go beyond just an interesting face. And she does videos as well. So when you check out her work, you can definitely take a look and explore her other projects on different locations, her personal projects. She's also really good at working with children and younger models, which I think not everyone can, not every fashion photographer can. I love working with children too, and I know that it's a slightly different set of mind that you should have when you approach a shoot with children. So it's really a good skill to have for her, and she's actually really young herself. So I think she started in her career, maybe she was just 20 when she already started shooting for brands and magazines. So now she must be 26 or 27, something like that. And look at her extensive body of work, and it's such a grown artist already, and it's really amazing. And I think just because she's so dedicated, and she constantly works and tries to improve herself, and come up with her own projects, and does shoots and shoots and shoots. So it's never stopping. She likes to work with what reality gives you, and she likes to see how interesting human interaction can get. I think it's almost like this scientific, or again a writer's or director's approach. Let's watch and see what happens. I found that very interesting. And of course she finds a lot of inspiration in movies, and the way she describes her own aesthetic is that it's timeless. It could be, or it could belong to any period of time, now or sometime in the past, which I totally agree with. I think it's her post-production and making this really warm and color, very controlled color palette, and it always looks like it was shot on film. I know she shots both film and digital, but she definitely recreates that film look with any shoot that she does. And I know that at least she used to do her own post-production. Maybe now that she's so much in demand, she probably outsources a lot as well. But it's you can see how much control she has over her color treatment and grading and overall color arrangement in the shot. Another thing that I wanted to tell about her, that she was able to find her own voice, and well, she describes herself as French, very French on her own Instagram, and so you can see a lot of her personal projects on her Instagram as well, if you would like to check it out. So she was able to find her own voice very early in her career, and she says that it's really important as a fashion photographer to be able to, keep that voice and always, stand for it, for yourself and for your ideas, but at the same time find the balance when you're dealing with a client and other people on set. And she recognizes the importance of those things, which also I think is very wise coming from a young photographer working in this industry, because you don't just only work by yourself, but preserve that identity while collaborating with other people. I think is really, really important, and she's really good at it. So I hope you find this review inspiring, and I definitely encourage you to look into more of her work, and especially her personal projects. And if you like to see more of these inspirational videos, please subscribe to me, support me on my Patreon account, and subscribe to my YouTube and IGTV channels. You will find all the links down below this video, and stay tuned for more. Thank you.